Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Our freight came in. Funny story here. Shitty freight company. And I figured I would tell it. So this huge thing here is a Suron Ultra B. It was left outside. The only reason why I knew it was here was because the shipper, the Chinese factory, they were like, hey, you got the bike. I'm like, no, I didn't. It says it's going to be delivered today, first thing in the morning. This was why I want to call them, see what time they plan to be here, so I know I'm here. Well, I guess they showed up at 3:52 yesterday, and they just left it in front of the door because we are closed on Mondays. Like a lot of power sports and stuff, that's our hours. It's posted. It's on Google. We're closed Monday. Now, sometimes I come in here early, what have you, and I did. I came in here early for a few hours. There was no calls about this freight or anything. So I was like, okay, first thing Tuesday morning, I'm going to give them a call, see where we're on the docket, and for the freight. You know, mornings are better for us. So, didn't think much about it. Spent the day doing stuff because that's our day off. And this was out, as you saw, in front of the building, which is kind of weird to leave just in a public parking lot. And at least it's wrapped well. And obviously, it did rain yesterday a little bit, but it looks like the box is fine. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it got too wet, but you know, it's just not something you leave outside. Now, luckily, it is pretty big. It is pretty heavy. So it's one of those things where, you know, I mean, for somebody to come and just pick this up not knowing what it is, yeah. I don't know who covered it like this. Maybe it was TForce because he left it. So I called them this morning and I said, hey, you guys left this freight just outside the door in a public parking lot. And the lady's like, yeah, well, you know, you didn't, there was no call ahead requested or anything. Well, we wouldn't have been here. We're closed on Mondays. A lot of stores are actually closed on Mondays. And she couldn't answer that. She was just like, well, you know, it was just left there and you got it. And, you know, it seemed like no big deal. I'm like, look, I want to file a complaint. We got it. It looks like it's all here. But you just left in a public parking lot. This is stupid. And your tracking showed it was going to be Tuesday. Well, that's an estimated time. Yeah, usually they don't come before that. You know? So you just assume the business is going to be open. They're expecting it on Tuesday because we're following the tracking. But it shows up a day early. This ain't a residence where you'd be like, oh, maybe somebody's home. And then even then, it's like, maybe they're home. If it says it's going to be Tuesday, you're expecting it Tuesday. You're not expecting it Monday. You're not expecting it Wednesday. You're expecting it on Tuesday. Of course, if you don't get it on Tuesday, you'd call and be like, hey, where is this? You know, was there something wrong with the truck? Right? Not a big deal. I just was letting them know in a friendly manner that, hey, you left this outside in a public parking lot. That's not really cool. Not probably something you should do. Oh, well, she just kept going back to, you know, there was no request for call ahead. Whatever happened to making a quick phone call, especially if you're going to show up early, be like, hey, are you guys open on Monday? It takes seconds, right? You're loading these, somebody calls and says, hey, are they open? Or Google's, you know, it says they're not open on Monday. Maybe we should stick to the Tuesday delivery. You know, you pay for freight. And it's really on our terms, not your terms. And it said Tuesday. It should be Tuesday, or you should attempt to call and be like, hey, the freight came a little early. Are you open on Monday? I'm just saying. And this like, oh, it's not noted. It's not this or that. Well, as I asked her, like, how do you know that a business is open on Monday? Yeah, well, anyways, you're filing a complaint, so here's your case number. Either she didn't know, she didn't care, So anyways, that's TForce Freight. I thought they were a bigger company, that they'd be a little bit better and have more common sense. It's kind of like when I've had issues with FedEx leaving stuff in our old place in the hallway, or UPS doing something stupid occasionally, although they were a lot better, or Postal Service doing stupid stuff, which I have a whole story on trying to get mailbox keys. I don't know how mail gets delivered to your location. Anyways, that's a whole different story, but, it's like these places hire the stupidest delivery people, stupidest postal carriers. It makes no sense. So anyways, I just thought this was a short little story, tell you about freight. That freight is complicated. So if you're running a small business and you're a one-man shop or a two-man shop, good luck with dealing with these people. Now, I will give a shout out to XPO Logistics. I see they have bad reviews, but they've been great. At least the guy that services this area, he's awesome. He's friendly. He's outgoing. It's why we used him to send bikes out. And unlike some of these companies here in the States, I won't name a name, but some of the Suron type, E-Ride, RAR type companies here in the U.S., they just go with the lowest bidder, so it's somebody different every single time, and it's annoying because you never know what you get. We're like, look, we'll even pay more to have XPO Logistics, because the guy's like, yeah, I know you're closed on Monday, and I figured I'd give you a call, and I was like, yeah, I happen to be here, and he was like, cool, I'll bring it on by. That's the type of people with common sense you need to be delivering for you. Just randomly showing up to a location doesn't really serve anyone's best interest. Now, if this was stolen, I would sue TForce. No one was here. No one was here to sign this. So they could even legitimately say somebody signed. And if they tried to, it's like, well, we don't have employees. That's our weird thing. People assume, well, you have employees. No, we don't. We're a two-person place. Two owners. And we're here. Although really one owner, that's a big long story. But anyways, we're here typically, but we have to run errands and stuff too. So that's what I never understood. How do small businesses do this and deal with these people all the time? Because it seems like freight companies are just retarded. They're fucking straight up retarded. I know people don't want to take the extra, maybe it would take their dispatch 5 minutes to call and see if somebody picked up and be like, hey, or call at their leisure the day before and be like, we got this in on Monday, or we got this in on the weekend. Hey, look, it's probably going to be delivered on Monday. Is that good for you guys? We see you're not open. I don't know. It just seems if you're coming early, you should probably check. And anyways, thank you, Kurt. We love you. So anyways, y'all take care, stay well, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye.